Hello, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hi Emily, how you going? Thanks for having us. We're cool. How you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. Thanks for doing this. I really appreciate it. Okay, on to our first question. Whose idea was it to start the band?
That'd be Chief Joker Joe.
That'd
Chief
be
Joker
me.
Joe, yeah, Chief Joker Joe.
So we originally a four-piece blues band, formed by myself and a friend of mine from college, and then that broke apart. Me and Mark carried on, and we've had various members since, but here we are now as a
Settled as a three, aren't we?
Yeah,
settled as a three.
trio.
Yeah.
That's cool. So obviously, the next question after that would be, how did you guys meet each other?
Well, bloody hell. I was making tea down at a place called Kent's, and they had me scrub it floors and all sorts. It was shocking, it were. Slave labour. And then Joe were in a band rehearsing in one of the rooms, and
We needed a drummer, didn't
they needed a drummer. Yeah, and I just stood in for 5 minutes, and I've been there ever since, really. And Tink, well,
I just waded up to you guys, didn't I? So I want to be a part of your band. Kept bugging you about it.
Yeah, he kept bugging us.
Coming back.
Yeah.
So if you could turn up to practice, not being under influence, you can play, and you did.
A fair play to lad, yeah.
Smashed,
fair play to lad.
smashed 9 songs without even
Yeah.
blinking, and you've been here since, haven't you?
Yep.
Yeah, he's settled in nicely.
Okay, for the next question. Why did you want to be a rock band rather than an indie or other genre of band?
We wanted to be a rock band rather than an indie band or any other genre, is because we've all got his own individual influences, like such as blues, rock, metal, country, but as a collective we are all big rock fans, and we all share the same idea of creating big sing-along, like anthem-style songs, don't we?
Yeah, definitely.
And I mean, at the time, like then, but especially now, there is a lot of pop and indie bands out there, and it'd be quite difficult for us to carve a path to make us stand out and sound different.
Yeah.
So we do our own brand of rock, and we believe that we stand out from.
Yeah, we draw on lots of different influences, and we're like nobody else, really. We get compared to several different people, and not one song, you could say, ultimately is like the other one. So that's every song stands on its own, doesn't it? Yeah.
Where did the name come from?
We changed his name pretty much as a rebrand, because originally we were called Play the Joker, and that was like a blues
Like
quartet,
a blues,
weren't it?
Yeah, blues rock, yeah.
And then when that split up, it was just a case of rebranding and renaming. We thought Joker theme were pretty cool.
Quite good. We just wanted to build on that Joker theme, really, and take it somewhere different.
Yeah.
And we thought that would be a cool rock name.
Cool. Okay, next question. What is the songwriting process like for you as a band?
Pretty much, it's a case of we just get into the practice room and just jam them out. We can usually tell which songs are going to work and which ones aren't, because the ones that do actually flow really quite easily.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we go through like a stage if it fits and if it's a good riff.
Yeah.
We do tend to carry on playing that, and we've got, I like that, and we in a few minutes we've got bass, it's like a shell.
Well, it's kind of like we've tried to write some songs and then it's just felt really forced trying to get them together, whereas the ones that we've kept, we'll write one, either Joe, me, and we'll bring in something, and if it really sticks, the next section will just fall into it. We'll just be able to write something straight away.
Yeah.
I think what we like doing is, or in my personal experience in like writing with you two, is that if something sounds similar to something else, we'll scrap it.
Yeah, we don't want
Each song's got to be different and a standout on their own.
Yeah.
Because there's no point playing songs that sound exactly the same. I know, like, bands make livings out in it, but
Yeah.
we just don't.
We don't want to do it like
No, we
that,
don't
do we?
wanna do it
We don't
like
want to do it like that.
Moving on, I want to know who your biggest influences are, musical or non-musical.
As a band, as biggest musical influences are bands like Rob Zombie, Nickelback, Blackstone Cherry, Black Label Society, and Stone Sour. As biggest non-musical influences, for me personally, I like old Gothic architecture, so like old churches, pretty much everything in York, Edinburgh.
Yeah, that's a cool place.
Whitby.
Yeah, and Whitby, yeah.
It's like anything like that always makes me think of our songs, and you know, I've like when you're walking up them steps in Whitby,
Yeah.
have your own little theme song at back of your head, walking up to his songs and that.
Yeah, cool, man. Yeah.
The next question is like my version, because I don't like sports and things like that. And there's like fantasy football leagues and things like that. So my version of that would be a fantasy festival bill. So if you were to create your own festival bill, who would be on it?
Go on, Tink, you go first, mate.
I've got to say, I'd love to have Jason Richardson on there. He used to be the guitarist for Born of Osiris, but he's gone out on his own.
He's a milkman now, ain't he? I think he's selling milk. Got a little electric float. Sorry, Tink, go on, mate. But he's a good guitarist, he's excellent, actually.
Polyphia, they're absolutely fantastic instrumentalists then, and
Yeah.
what would be the last one? Hunt the Dinosaur.
Hunt the Dinosaur, wow.
Yeah.
Go on, Joe.
Mate?
Yeah.
I'd have to say Whitesnake. I think there's two there for me anyway. So there's Whitesnake and Doug Aldrich. Like Doug Aldrich as a guitarist is phenomenal, and Dave Coverdale as a vocal in his heyday was unbelievable.
Yeah,
Definitely.
definitely.
Well, to me, it'd probably be Bon Jovi, because that's what reason I started playing guitar anyway. Well, Richie Sambora, that's what reason I started.
Good a reason as any.
Yeah.
Is that your three?
Yeah. Doug Aldrich.
Oh,
Dave
yeah,
Coverdale,
sorry, yeah.
Richie.
Mine are, I'm a diehard Who fan. Always have been.
Oh.
Who? Oh, they? For obvious reasons, you know, you've got one of the greatest drummers ever and one of the greatest rhythm lead guitarists and one of the greatest vocalists and the ultimate bass player. Another band would be probably Queens of the Stone Age. And another one would be, I would say, Clutch. Clutch, because a lot of their stuff really does occasionally sound a little bit like us. We've got like little bits
We
of
could do a
Clutch.
decent support act for them.
Yeah, we could be a really good support for Clutch. If you're listening, Clutch, we're here.
I really thought you'd have said Rival Sons.
I was going to say Rival Sons, but I sort of like dig Clutch a little bit more than Rival Sons.
Oh.
But Rival Sons would have been up there in the top 5, definitely.
But I know we're going on more than whatever, but Volbeat's quite similar to Clutch as well. I quite like Volbeat.
Volbeat, yeah.
The
I
most
like Lola
recent
Martez.
stuff.
That
Yeah.
song of theirs is quite a catchy
Yeah.
little pop song. That's excellent. Yeah.
The next question is, what made you want to pick up your instrument from any other instruments in the world?
Mine would be, the reason why I picked up an instrument, well, again, listening to Bon Jovi and going to watch them play at Manchester. And Richie Sambora has always been he's like him and Brian May, but especially Richie Sambora has been the number one influence for me picking up a guitar. So that would be the reason why I did.
I think mine's is I started watching Kerrang when I was about 15, and I was always drawn to the bass guitarist because it's kind of like it's the whole power behind the throne sort of aspect.
Yeah.
Like bass is it's a very important. Not many people think it, but it's an important instrument to the sound.
No, I mean you're right though, because like before we got you, how empty it must have sounded.
Yeah. It sounded
Previous.
good with 2 guitars and the drums, but with the bass added, it just filled everything up and went on to another level, really, didn't it? Yeah. Mine would be hearing Quadrophenia for the first time when I was a young lad. I can't have been about 10, 11. My mate played it from school, and that just flipped me totally. I thought, right, that's it. Game on. Let's play it. That was that. Sorted.
Another question I'd like to ask bands and artists is what is another band or artist that you'd like, but people and fans would not necessarily associate you with that band or artist?
I think mine has got to be Cascada.
Oh. Straight over the top. Never heard of them.
Yeah, it's dance.
Dance. Is that an influence for you?
Some of the stuff, yeah. You know, with the more rhythmic bass line sort of stuff that I do.
Yeah. Well, not any. Is that stuff that you like then? Because I agree with bass line. That does make sense now. Yeah.
It's interesting stuff to listen to.
Yeah, I should imagine.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, a lot of dance music, I know it's like a lot and it's done by a computer, but when you get them playing it live and you actually get musicians playing it, they're quite talented bunch of folk.
Yeah, they've got to be to keep it all squared up. Yeah. What about yours, mate?
The Bolt, Michael Bolton.
Oh no!
Man with a golden voice.
No.
Steel bars.
Eh? He's only 4'2" tall, you know. He's only a little bloke.
Yeah, but he's got a voice like a god.
Mine would be probably. I would say probably Johnny Cash. Johnny Cash. Brought up on Johnny Cash.
That must have been uncomfy.
Oh, you were. I managed though. I scraped by. But always brought up on Johnny Cash. Big hero.
My next question for you guys is, if you could be part of if you could be on the bill for any festival, which festival would it be?
Festivals we'd like to be a part of.
Well, Glastonbury. Won't mind getting down to the Glastonbury and getting a bit muddy.
I'd have to say Download Festival.
Yeah.
It's my own county as it is anyway.
Yeah, aye. Leicester man.
Swedish Rock Festival, cause big up the Swedes.
Big up the Swedes. Yeah, melodic rock.
And if we could hold us own, I'd have to say Lock Park in Barnsley. Cause, I mean, ultimately it is. We were all originally from apart from you, but
yeah, I'm just an import, mate.
Yeah,
it's
that Carlsberg. But there'd be no better than pulling a crowd big enough to fill out Lock Park, especially in your own town.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, even better if we could headline it.
Yeah.
If you could collaborate with anyone in the rock community or in any other genre, who would you choose to collaborate with?
Right. Probably there's quite a few local bands that we'd like to have a recording session with and write and stuff like that. But one of the main ones is a Sheffield band called Sour Tusk, a two-piece, who are extremely raucous and absolutely great lads. You need to get them on the show. Killer lads.
Okay, the next question's a bit random and has nothing to do with rock or music whatsoever, but I was wondering if you have any pets, and if you do, what are they, and what are their names?
Yeah, I've got two dogs. I've got a black Labrador called Sasha, and I've got a black Cocker Spaniel called Jet.
I've got a Staffordshire Bull Terrier called Elle, and we have two cats. One's called Boo, the black one, and the other one is called Pickle.
You got it?
No, Tink's sensible. He ain't got the pets.
Now for the next question, which is also not about rock or anything, or music, really. But I'll find it interesting to find out what was your best or worst subject in school?
This wasn't so much at school, this was more when I went to college. I went to Loughborough College for a music BND, and my favourite one there was composition, and I was quite good at that. The one that I did not like was musical theatre, and I pretty much told the teacher that a lesson sucked to her face.
Oh, excellent.
My worst one would have been geography, because I could easily get lost in my own back garden. And I think my favourite one was probably drama, performing arts.
Oh, yeah. My worst one were maths. Hated maths, not very good for a drummer. Not like in numbers. But there you go. And favourite one was...
Shows.
It shows, you cheeky sod. And my favourite was art. Yeah, I quite liked art. There's some cool teachers.
So I was wondering, what do you do when you're away from the band?
Just playing the bass. I write a lot of solo stuff on my bass when I'm not with the band. So yeah, that's pretty much what I do.
I'm sure your partner and your new child would love to hear that they're not featuring in the in that one, mate.
Well, there is that.
What do you do outside at band? I was playing with bass.
I still do that when I'm with them.
Fair enough.
Fair enough, mate. Fair enough, pal. Joe?
Yeah, I just spend time with my family and friends. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, pretty much the same for me, really. Family and friends, trying to make the most of the time that we have with them.
I think
Just,
we're quite private individuals. We don't.
No.
No.
Obviously, we message each other and stuff like that when we have to, and we have the crack, but we keep ourselves to ourselves, and
When we have to.
yeah, when we have to, when we have to speak to Joe, basically.
The next question might be a bit of a hard one for you, but what has been your favourite song that you've written so far as a band?
Ooh, favourite songs, right? Tink?
I've got to say Addiction, because it's a riff.
Addicted.
Addicted.
It's called Addicted.
Well, similar sort of thing.
Yeah, it's called Addicted. Yeah.
But
it's a
anyway,
cool song.
I've had that riff running around for about 10 years, and I've never been able to actually have it stick properly in a band. So yeah, that's my favourite one.
Mine's a very new one. It's called Swinging, and I just think it's a mega groovy, bouncy riff. I just think it's top. I always get a kick out of playing it.
Yeah. Mine would be one that we've extremely recently brought back to life, and that's called Last Days in the Sun. It was something that we played years and years ago, and it sort of like fell out of favour for one reason and another, and we've just brought it back. We've beefed it up, and it sounds absolutely killer.
Can you tell me a concert that you've been to as a fan that has been your favourite?
So my favourite concert that I've been to that's not as band would have to be the first ever concert that I ever went to. My mum took me to see Bon Jovi for my 16th birthday, and as a surprise support band, Nickelback showed up. So that was pretty incredible.
Mine would be 1981. It would be Bruce Springsteen at the NEC in Birmingham for the River Tour. 3.5 hours of pure magic, and then Pete Townsend comes on for the encore and runs through a few tracks with him. So that really made me evening, really. Yeah.
I think mine has got to be Download 2006. Music was brilliant, but at the end of that festival was insane because it was the year the riots broke out.
Alright.
Oh, yeah.
Literally, you'd walk across the fields and there were like mushroom clouds blowing up everywhere.
Oh dear.
What has been the best advice that you have been given so far as a band?
Best advice we've ever been given is probably you need a bassist. Having been a band with 2 guitarists and a drummer, countless people said you need a bassist.
So yeah.
I have another hard question for you fellas. I want to know what has been the biggest challenge that you faced as a band so far?
Right. Probably to go as a 3-piece. To decide that we would be better as a 3-piece rather than a 4. And to rewrite everything again after dropping keys and
Cutting out songs.
tunings and stuff like that, and cutting out songs.
I also think that one of his challenges a bigger challenge has been because we're a local Barnsley band. We've worked his way into like Sheffield circles and Rotherham circles and Doncaster circles.
Yeah.
So that's been quite a challenge on.
You get your foot in the door and get people to like want to book you and come and watch you. Like, it's been really difficult.
Yeah.
Tink?
I'd probably have to say the song that I'd put on there is Machine Head Halo.
Another good question I'd like to find out about from bands is what has been the craziest thing that's happened to you or someone you know at a concert. It can be your own gig, or it can be a gig that you've went to as a fan.
I think the craziest thing, or there's 2 that's happened to me. One is at our own gig, and then there was another one at a Download Festival. The one at Download Festival, we're in the nightclub tent, or the Dog House I think it was called. Pit opened up, started running. I saw this fist coming towards me, couldn't move out of the way. I just felt it connect. I got dropped to the floor, stood up, didn't think anything could happen to me, so I kept sipping my can. I wiped my head and my hand was covered in blood.
Ooh, lovely.
So yeah, but I still kept on there for about 45 minutes drinking while blood was pissing out of me.
What
Of
about
course.
the one we played at Doncaster with Crazy Town?
I went up on stage to try and get a pick off one of the guitarists from Crazy Town, and I got off stage. Literally, it's about 2 foot or something.
Yeah.
And as I landed, my ankle like pretty much collapsed.
Disgusting.
Yeah, he was just in a big heap on the floor. Yeah. Good lad.
Another thing that I find fascinating is when you go on tour or when you're gigging about, what has been the worst thing that you can think of to have forgotten?
I think mine has got to be my power pack from the pedal, because that's literally my setup. Is I take my bass and my pedal board, that's it. And if I don't have that power pack, I can't use my pedal board.
Mine would be sticks, pedals, things that are quite personal to you, really, that although if you borrow them from somebody else, they're never just quite the same. And sometimes they can affect your playing, I suppose.
Forgetting one of those lot.
Yeah.
That'd be quite.
That'd be like a major boo-boo.
You can borrow people's equipment, but you can't borrow band members.
No.
And simple things like picks, batteries for pickups, leads, etc.
Carrying on from that question, what has been the worst thing that you personally have forgotten for a gig or concert?
What have we forgotten?
Well, probably at some point we've forgotten just about everything other than short of guitars and stuff like that.
Forgot what day it was.
We've forgot what day it was. I'm sure we've forgotten most things, to be quite frank with you. Just about everything, really.
Cool. And obviously, the most recent question would be, what have you guys been up to in lockdown? Or since lockdown restrictions have been lifted?
in lockdown, we've done just before lockdown we did a live stream, didn't we?
Yeah,
and that was literally the day before lockdown. We've been writing lyrics, we've been video chatting each other, we've been planning on as a set of singles, an EP.
Yeah. And as lockdowns sort of eased quite dramatically, then we've managed to get back into the studio just to fine tune a few bits and pieces on the singles that we've got coming up on the EP.
And to be fair, tonight, while we're doing this, is probably one of the first times we've been back together. So
yeah. It's been a strange old time.
And for my final question, I wanted to know, what message have you got for your fans or any new fans that have now joined the fan club, who are now going to go and, after the show, stream and buy music and find out as much as possible about you? What message do you have for them?
One message we'd like to give to us fans is, plain and simply, thank you for taking your time and listening to us and supporting us.
Yeah, without you, which it's not worth doing really.
Yeah.
It's no good playing to nobody or having nobody give you feedback or all like that. So having fans and people that support you is great, isn't it? So it doesn't hurt to give a little bit of something back.
We're always happy to give you the time of the day. We're not.
Yeah, we've got no
egos.
No egos. We'll always sit and talk to you and sign stuff if you want it signing and.
Yeah, I mean, I've got no qualms in anybody wants to chat to me while I'm performing. Just start talking to me. I'll talk back. No problem.
Thank you for doing this. I appreciate it. Stay safe, and I can't wait to hear new music.
Yeah, cheers, Emily. Thank you very much for having us. Take care.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, everybody check out A Joker Among Thieves.
Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, YouTube,
Twitter,
Apple.
Yeah, we're all over.
Anywhere.
Yeah. Just have a listen and give us a like. Cheers.
See you soon.
Bye.
Thank you for joining me on Emily's Rock Show. I really appreciated it. Say thank you to the guys. Give them a follow. Stream them. Buy their music. Help out. They are amazing. Follow them so you don't miss out on future releases, because there's nothing like saying, oh, I was there from the beginning, and then you can go and tell your friends when they join in, like 5 albums later, you could go, I was there from the very start. Where have you been? You've missed out. But anyway, a big thank you to Joe, Tink and Mark. Yes, and I can't wait to see them live when we're allowed out and things. So yeah, thank you very much.